Hey there, and welcome to the first of hopefully many Overwatch videos on my channel. And today we're going to go into the differences between health, armor, and shields in the game. So there are some pretty major differences between these three, and we'll get right into it here. We'll start with health, which is the simplest one to understand. It's just basic health, pretty much like most other games. There's no damage mitigation for health, and it has no passive regen, so it will not regenerate on its own. It obviously can be regenerated by healing and such, but it will not regenerate by itself. It is the first thing to be healed when you do get healing. So armor, in most cases, can be healed, but health will be healed before armor. And then once you get all your health healed back, your armor will then be healed as well. So that is kind of interesting to know. And then it's the last thing to take damage. So there is actually an order to this. When you take damage, it applies to barriers first, and then to shields, and then to ability granted armor, like Torbjorn's armor packs, and then to normal armor, and then to health. So, like if you had, say, shields, and then like innate armor, like your Winston or something, the shields would take damage first, and then your armor would take damage, and then your health would take damage. So that's how that would work. And that's pretty much it for health. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, pretty much it. And then we go into armor. And there's some characters that just have innate armor, like Bastion, D.Va, Reinhardt, and Winston have armor by default, and their armor can actually be healed. Okay, so it'll be healed after health, like we just covered a second ago, but your armor can be recovered through healing from, an ability or a health pack or what have you. It will heal. Now, Torbjorn's armor packs cannot be healed, is something important to note there. Those will not be healed. And armor actually provides damage mitigation, which a lot of people may not know, or may not at least know how much. Essentially, it will reduce incoming damage by 5 if the incoming damage is above 10. So for example, let's say we have 25 damage that's going to come in and hit us. Your armor will take that first and reduce it by 5. So it'll really only take 20 damage. If the incoming damage is below 10, then it just reduces it by 50%. So if you're going to take 8 damage, it just reduces it by 50%, making it 4 damage. So essentially armor is much better against like really low damage, quick firing weapons, maybe like Tracer or, Mercy's little pistol or something. Since those do lower damage, it's going to be much more effective than it would be against very high damage people like Widowmaker and people like that. And then crit damage, like headshots that do double damage, that is applied before your armor reduction. So say you were going to do 100 damage as a headshot, then it's applied after that rather than being applied before that and then having it added together. And that pretty much covers it for armor. So it is pretty cool. It has damage mitigation. It can be healed if it's innate armor on characters. And then lastly, we have shields. Symmetra, Zarya, and Zenyatta have shields by default. And then Symmetra can obviously grant shields to people, a shield of 25, and it works just like a normal shield would. And shields do not reduce damage, meaning that they don't have any damage mitigation like armor would, but they do regen over time at about 20 HP per second after not taking damage for 3 seconds. So if you're in combat or whatever, being shot, if you back away and hide for 3 seconds and don't take damage, then the shield will regen at about 20 HP per second. And again, those cannot be healed. They just regen on their own. And that's pretty much it for shields. They're pretty straightforward as well. And then the last quick thing to cover here is like Lucio's ult, which is actually considered like an overheal. And essentially that just grants you more than your normal maximum health, right? I think his ult grants like 500 health or something. and it's a darker blue than a normal shield, and those can't be healed, and it just decays really quickly over time. If you've obviously been Lucio ulted, you'll notice that, but it's essentially just granting you more maximum health. It's not a shield, it can't be healed, it doesn't provide any damage mitigation like armor would. It's just pretty much straight up health. And there you go. So that pretty much covers it. Health, armor, and shields. They are different. They have some different pros and cons, but you know, if you were unclear on how some of those may work, then there you go. I hope this helped you out. If you have any questions, suggestions, post down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And, you know, if you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more. There will definitely be more Overwatch content in the future here. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you found this helpful. And until next time, guys, I look forward to seeing you all, and take care.
Epic. It's nice to feel appreciated.